So can you do a quick recap of your hacks?
Yeah, sure. So let me think. Gosh, you're putting me on the spot. So my first content hack was, the first one was personalization. So basically personalizing content, around basically what you know around your customers. So personalizing landing pages when they arrive on that landing page. So don't just say hello, insert name. Like actually say their name on the landing page because you probably know that about them. So use dynamic kind of smart, forms that allow you to do that. So personalization was important and that helps with conversion. The second one was conversion optimization. So basically how you can make people convert faster on landing pages, how you can make them click through in your emails, how you can make them, click through in your tweets. So we looked at that. That was a really interesting component. The third hack was buyer personas. So creating really rich understandings and personas of who your customers are. Not too many as well. Sometimes just 2 or 3 buyer personas is all you need. And what's really great about a buyer persona is it helps you basically rally your entire business around who it is that we're trying to pull into our funnel. And when everyone's on the same page around who that person is, you can create the best kind of content, you can create the best product and the best service that's targeting them, and it's going to give them what they want at the end of the day, right? Because people think of selling as a really bad and dirty thing, but there's always someone on the other end of selling, right? There's a buyer. So selling can be a beautiful thing if you're giving something to someone that they've been dying for and they're looking to get. So so that was the third piece, was the persona component. The fourth thing I spoke about was hacking tools and data. So finding really great tools online that are free a lot of the time that you can help to start to kind of, increase the way you're connecting with people, finding different email addresses for people to help you connect, working out when your Twitter followers are online through tools like Follower Wonk. Another great tool is called Snipply, which lets you share someone else's content, but put a CTA like through an iframe on their website to pull people back to your site. And then the final one was using data, I think it was, using data to help with the whole process. So yeah, it was a really, really fun session. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and got lots of activity on Twitter and whatnot, so it was fun.
So do you see a lot of automation and using tools as opposed to marketing, which was more of a human endeavor? So do you think that has changed a lot and that's going to be the case in the future?
So look, I think marketing is still a human endeavor. Where just humans are using tools now to kind of help them do things faster and smarter than the way in which they were doing them before. Because if you think about it, a human's not going to be the best person to work out when an ad should show, right? An algorithm that Google or Facebook or whatever is built that looks at live data is going to be the best thing. So someone asked, I think at the end of my session yesterday, are we becoming less intelligent because we're using tools and all this automation? It's definitely not that. If anything, it's the opposite. These tools and all these automations are helping us be smarter, and they're helping us make the right decisions so that we can really understand what it is our ideal customer wants.
There's a lot of focus on content and content marketing and the quality of content. So the thing that came out in today's session was that the more things change, the more they remain the same, because everyone talked about coming back to the fundamentals. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, look, I think, at the end of the day, marketing is marketing. I was thinking about this actually earlier today. The kind of term content marketing is redundant because it's just marketing. But I think the reason why content marketing came as a really specific term was because marketers for a really long time had been doing really, really shit marketing, for lack of a better word. Think of your Mad Men era Don Drapers that were basically pushing messages out, telling people that they wanted things they didn't actually want. And so that's where I think the whole idea of content marketing came from. It was around the idea of create really good content that people are looking for, and then they will find that, right? They're searching for that. So that's going to be a magnet that pulls them to your brand, and then over time you'll be able to sell them. But I mean, it's really unfortunate that we've had to create a new term for that specific thing because so many people were doing outbound marketing or bad marketing. So inbound marketing, content marketing, whatever you want to call it, it's just marketing, but marketing done well. The content piece in my mind is redundant because content was always at the heart of marketing. It was just content previously was used to push for an ad, whereas now we're using content to pull. Okay. So, I think it's definitely a lot of the same, but, people are just realizing they need to do a lot of that same thing, but in the right way and by honoring what it is that the person that they're trying to sell to is wanting, as opposed to pushing something that they don't want.
Again, when it comes to gathering data to give people what they want, don't you think the consumer is kind of becoming powerless, because there's no way that even if I search for "I hate brown shoes," someone is going to give me brown shoes in the next search because of the term, even if I don't like it. So is it taking away the power and kind of surrounding them with too much data, consumers, based on what they search, even if that's not what they're looking for?
Well, I'm not sure if it necessarily does that. Like if you search for "I hate brown shoes," every time you search on Google, you're seeing only ads in relation to your current search. So if you search "I hate brown shoes" and then you're searching for pink shoes, you're not going to see anything about brown shoes. So that one won't affect your new search. Is the first thing. But I think then, if you do then, if anything, you might see another article about other people that also hate brown shoes, right? So hopefully people are smart enough to surface content to you that makes sense and understands that phrase "I hate" as opposed to "I love."
Okay.
And obviously if you are doing Google ads or whatnot, you can create those kind of Boolean perimeters that will help just like work out what is the right type of content to show.
Yeah, expanding that, is there any way that the consumer can control what kind of content and what kind of things are sold to him in the future?
I think so. The consumer's always in control. I mean, the consumers have never had as much control as they've got today, because when they go online, when they make a search for something, I mean, no one's telling them where to click, right? It's very clear what is an ad and what isn't an ad. So, I mean, any smart consumer realizes that I'm probably not going to click on the ads because they might not be best suited to what I'm searching for. I haven't clicked on a Google ad in like 5 years.
Okay.
I don't know even who does. I mean, I think 70% of people, or I think only 10% of all traffic comes from ads on Google. So it's like something that's like 70 to 90% of all clicks are going into organic.
Yeah.
So consumers realize that they're ads. So consumers are definitely in control in my mind.
Okay.
If anything, the fact that there's more content, more stuff out there for search engines to index, just means that the consumer has more options now today to click on. So I'd definitely say that consumers have the most control.
Okay. So currently, a few years ago, just content marketers are just getting the hang, or marketers are just getting the hang of text content and putting content out there. But now with the advent of video taking over text, or apps, or other instant articles taking, so how does that change? Because people are just catching up to text. So what's your take on how they can come up to speed?
So I still think text, to be honest, is the most important thing right now. Videos and all of those, interactive pieces of content and stuff, they're great. They're great, especially if you're a B2C brand that's looking for branding and buzz, because video content, interactive content can go viral. Text content doesn't typically go viral in the way visuals do. But viral content doesn't mean like content driving sales. And I think that's like a really big thing that people don't realize, is that a video that goes viral probably didn't drive sales for the business underlying it. If there was a product, it was probably a funny cat video.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So really at the end of the day, what we see is really rich text-based content, whether that's blogging content or infographic content on the landing page. If it's got lots of links to it, because it's a really good piece of content, that's going to rank far higher up in search rankings than a video ever will. So when you think of that kind of component of things, I think you definitely want to start with text first. And then once you've got organic traffic coming in from all of that, rich text content on your site, then start supplementing that with videos, add those videos to the text blog posts.
Okay.
You can definitely, overlap the different areas of the content. But I still think personally text is kind of that longer term thing for now anyways, that will drive ongoing organic traffic, and then other forms of digital media that are more interactive and more visual and supplement that.
Okay. Talking specifically about India, we are growing the number of internet connections and everything, but still there's no playbook about content marketing in India. We're still looking at the Western world, or people like HubSpot for our directions. So what kind of advice would you like to give to Indian companies and Indian consumers both?
Yeah, look, so I think we 6 to 10 years ago when we started HubSpot and we were creating kind of this idea around what inbound marketing was and what content marketing was, it really came off of the idea that buyers were changing. And I think that's no truer today in India than anywhere in the world, right? Buyers are changing. And so I think for people that want to upskill themselves in understanding how buyers are changing, how personas can impact their business and help their bottom line, and how content isn't just for branding and for traffic, it's to generate leads and customers, they should Google the HubSpot Academy. And the HubSpot Academy is an amazing online education platform that's 100% free. They can do hours and hours and hours and weeks and weeks of online learnings, online courses. They could even get a certification. It's really hard, actually. Someone came up to me the other day and said here, actually, that they haven't been able to pass our exam. But we've got really high bars for kind of what we're aiming for, and we want people, when they finish that certification and they pass, they get an amazing badge that goes on their LinkedIn profile that they can use when they're going for job interviews to showcase their inbound and their content marketing skills. So I tell them to search the HubSpot Academy and do some of our free online courses.
Okay. I work at Blog Adda, so we are all about blogs. So what do you think? Because in India, this is just starting out, and they're discovering stuff. So what do you think as a blogger? What should be on the blog so that because they don't have anything to sell most of the time, but still they need to be discovered. They need customers for their content. So what kind of advice would you give to them?
Yeah, I mean, so I think it's kind of what I spoke about yesterday. In my first or second hack is that really create rich buyer personas for who the people are you're trying to attract to your blog, and give them all the bits of content and answer all of the questions that they're going to Google and searching for, and that over time will drive sales. Content marketing, inbound marketing, it's not about a quick sell. And some people think that it's like a weakness of it, but in fact it's actually one of its biggest strengths, because you're not pulling in unqualified, bad quality leads and visitors, you're pulling in the most qualified people to your site. So I would tell them to really understand the heart of what it is, who it is that they're trying to sell to, and creating stuff that's going to pull them in, and over time that will build their business and help them grow.
So you obviously being one of the speakers, you are supposed to decide what the future looks like in the digital world. So first question is, what do you think it'll look like in the coming couple of years? And the second question is, are there any thoughts that you didn't come here with and you're taking away with yourself after the Click Asia Summit?
So how are things changing? Look, I mean, when you think about the way in which kind of search is moving out of being just about the internet browser, and now it's going into Spotlight on your Mac and Spotlight on your iOS device. And people are searching within apps now, like Medium and Quartz and Quora. So that definitely, I think, changes how you optimize content and how you distribute content. But I think at the end of the day, it's all about quality content. Regardless of where it is, if you create really good content that nobody can get from anywhere else, ranking factors and optimization isn't going to matter, because people are going to share it, people are going to read it, people are going to view it, and that's going to tell the app, it's going to tell Siri, whatever the tool is that is choosing where that content goes, that's going to tell them that it's a really good piece of content, and that's what's going to help you rank, and that's what's going to make predictively get that content seen by other people. So definitely things are changing in the future, but I wouldn't get too worried about that. I think just focus on creating really good content. And then to your second part of the question around what I was expecting coming here and what I've kind of taken away if it was different. I came to India thinking that the Indian market was more price sensitive than it was. And from speaking with a lot of people over the last few days, I've learned that the Indian market isn't necessarily behind on digital marketing and marketing automation and digital marketing content and all that, because of the fact that they don't want to pay for the different tools. It's more of an education thing, I believe, that they're just not aware of how much these tools could really help them out in their job and help them do things so much more efficiently and help them generate a far greater return on investment. So I think, thinking about how HubSpot can help those marketers and those businesses start to realize that. I mean, we're, I think, going to push really hard and lean into our inbound academy that I was talking about before, because I think that's a really great way for the Indian market to upskill themselves and become more educated in how digital marketing and marketing automation can help them. So that was a really, really good takeaway for me, just understanding that.
Last question. A lot of Blog Adda bloggers are watching this, so any message for them to how to up their game as we're talking?
So I think, I'm sure they're pretty good if they're all bloggers within your network. So I guess a little bit more of an advanced tip for them, I would say, is something that we at HubSpot works really well is called content republishing. And so what we do, and it typically works only with evergreen content, evergreen in some ways, and it is and isn't. But so a good example would be we have a couple evergreen posts on our blog that they stay evergreen because we keep updating them. So an example might be how to build a LinkedIn for Business page, or how to set up a Facebook for Business page, or how to do email marketing 101. So kind of like those key pillar marketing topics that any marketer goes to Google, any marketer goes to Yahoo and searches for. And so we've written those posts years ago, right? Back when we started the HubSpot blog. But instead of creating new ones on that exact same topic, whenever things change in email marketing, we go back to that email marketing blog post that has all of those crazy good links to it. We update that post to make sure that it's really relevant right now. We obviously then add a note down the bottom saying this blog post has been updated on this date and was republished on this date, and then we republish it. And now what this does, which is really fascinating, is Google sees a new blog post. It's the same URL, but it's got a new date on the blog post, and it's got a date of today, for example. And so when Google crawls that URL, they see that date, but then they see all of those inbound links to that blog post. And these are inbound links that have been developed over a period of 5 years or whenever that first blog was written. And what that then tells Google is, holy shit, this blog post was published today, and it's got all of these links from these really relevant and really good domain authority websites. I'm going to rank this blog post really high, really fast.
Okay.
And so by doing that in the right way, not in a dodgy way, you can definitely help further rank those blog posts on your blog that already generate good traffic and links. But keep doing that with them by republishing them. And this isn't something you do very often. You might do it once a year, or basically you would do it whenever the content needs to be updated significantly. So that would be, I guess, my kind of hack for the blogging folks watching this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.